How we doing, Kyle? You got it? We're good? 91.9 WFPK Radio Louisville. I'm Nick James with AC Newman and Kathryn of the New Pornographers. How are you guys doing?
Great. You know, we just played a big show at Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
Last show of the tour.
Last show of the tour. So, how do you feel about the tour overall? The new record together, and
it's been great. Everything's been really cool. Okay. It's hard not. Sometimes you take it for granted, you know. Things have been too good for too long.
Well, I was gonna ask you. You had to play directly against Devo. How did you feel about that?
I mean, it sucked for us because we all wanted to see Devo, but yet it was astounding to look out at over the sea of people. There must have been like 40,000 people, and thinking they could have been watching Devo, but they're out over here. Who knows? Maybe they're saving their spots for the Strokes or whatever. But it was amazing. It was
anything's possible. I know some New Pornographers fans have to be going out for Lady Gaga too.
Yeah.
But that's beside the point. So the new album is together, and as you said, it's the last stop on the tour for it. But I was wondering, is there such a thing as too much collaboration? Because on this record, not only did you have the usual group of suspects with the Pornographers, but you also had members of Ockerville River and the Daptones and St. Vincent. I mean, how does that play into everything?
Well, you know, it wasn't. I mean, I'd like to think it was more collaborative than it was. I mean, a lot of those people we brought in because we were getting near the end. And aside from the Daptones, who we were lucky enough to get, the Dap Kings, we knew we wanted to get a really good horn section, and luckily enough, our manager knew them, so that was serendipity. But like Annie from St. Vincent and Will from Ockerville and Zach from Beirut, we're all like last minute. Like we thought, we need a guitar solo, and we thought, let's get Annie. And we need a trumpet, let's get Zach. And it was lucky that we were in New York and they were around, so we were very lucky that way.
Well, what's your input as a collaborating force in the group? I mean, I haven't heard much from you in this interview yet, so I figure I might as well ask.
Well, I generally, I get flown in. I did my parts in Woodstock, which is where Carl and his wife Christy live, and we had this guest cottage that was converted into a makeshift studio. And so I went in and I played, you know, like I just improvised for a few days and came up with stuff off the top of my head. And, you know, he'd kind of be sitting over on the couch going, yeah, can you maybe do what you did about 30 seconds ago? And I go, okay, can we replay that so I can remember what I was doing? So there's a lot of that stuff I had. And I did a lot of vocals, obviously. And
all right. Now, the next thing I was going to ask is, because you are such a collaborative force and there are so many people, you know, how do you separate the AC Newman sound from the New Pornographers sound, and what's the difference between AC Newman projects and New Pornographers projects?
I mean, I don't even know if I know how to do that properly. I mean, obviously there's the obvious thing is that there's the different people involved, you know, like there's the influence of Kathryn and Dan and Nico, or you know, the other people in the group. And on my solo album, you know, it's just I'm just bouncing things off another group of people. But sometimes I do listen to my solo records and think, why didn't I make that a New Pornographer song? And I think, I don't know why. It was a song that I wrote while I was making the solo album, so I put it on the solo album.
Timing, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, do you ever revisit it? I mean, especially when you're touring on stuff, I would imagine that it presents an opportunity for you to break out that stuff and perform it as a New Pornographers song, and not just
too lazy. It's just hard. It's hard enough to get this band to like learn New Pornographers songs without throwing in a, hey, I've got a project. It's like you can either learn a AC Newman song or you can go back to your hotel room. Oh, you want to go back to your hotel room? Okay.
All right, fantastic. Well, thanks for talking with us, AC and Kathryn, and looking forward to a great Lollapalooza. I hope you guys get to enjoy the festival as well.
Oh yeah, it's been a ton of fun.
Yeah,
thank you.
We will thoroughly enjoy.
Thanks so
again.
Much.
Yes. Thanks again.